Let's play! Hi guys and welcome back to Hate Plus. We're on Mute side of the story while we wait for Hyune, although it's gonna take 12 hours apparently, which is admittedly an awesome concept, but it was kind of my fault that I didn't actually, prepare in advance. I didn't know that I'd have to actually wait. That's kind of cool. Alright, so now we have Sneaking Out at Night by Mute. How can she oh, wait, no. Transcript of a conversation held with Chief Security Officer Hyo. Okay, so we know her. Pardon me, sir. Can I take up a moment of your time? Okay, thanks. I'm not really sure how to deal with something. I caught Officer Hyo Sung-bok. Wait. Oh, wait, no, different Hyo. Sneaking out of the palace at night. He's one of the princess's royal guards. He was off duty at the time, and I caught him after he'd waved through the side gate. He'd been waved through the side gate. I don't know who waved him through without authorization since, my cameras are a pretty high angle, and those hats that are a part of the uniform make it pretty much impossible to see faces. I assume it was whoever on duty, though. Anyway, I caught Sung-bok as he was on his way back in. He waved at some peasant-looking young man out in the corridor. This incident occurred at, 4 a.m., so if he really was a peasant, it was totally past curfew, I may add. After that guy left, Sung-bok was alone in the corridor, so I popped up on the nearby screens. Whoa, he said, nearly jumping. Is that Mute? Yeah, it's me, I told him. You look really different, ma'am, he stammered. And, I thought you were dead. I got kind of awkward. As one does when you're talking to someone who recognizes you but you don't recognize them, and also you've had your whole memory wiped. Well, I'm not anymore, I said. I got brought back. I'm sorry, you are Officer Hyo Sung-bok? Have we met before? Yes, ma'am, a couple times when you were older, I guess? I mean, not much. We weren't friends or anything. You just happened to be around when I was talking to Seo Yi. He stopped and then apologized before he could finish saying her name, and then just said, the old chief security officer. Yeah, I know. I know. No, I know that it's taboo to mention her name. I was just saying. Oh, so my suspicions are becoming ever clearer onto what happened. Were you outside that palace? I asked. Who was that man? Oh, just a friend, he said. I should get back inside now. It's nice to see you're alive, ma'am. It's a nice thing to say to people. It's good to see you, not dead. Okay, maybe it is if they're, actually thought they died, so. I don't know, he didn't seem like a friend to me. Even going past the whole peasant thing, it's not. Yeah, exactly. Okay, if you say so. Really? I didn't know that there's a thing men did. Wait. Okay. If you say so. I guess you learn something new every day. Anyway, still, I figure you shouldn't be sneaking out in the middle of the night. Yeah, I don't want the princess's royal guards to be sleep deprived. Pretty sure the kid deserves a lot better than that. I don't know if it's a disciplinary matter or not. I don't really want him to get a dressing down from a woman because it's not really appropriate, but yeah, okay. Thanks, I appreciate that. Okay, bye for now. Okay, so yeah, I see what's going on. The Board of Ministers from the... Okay, so this is like the same sort of meeting, but this one is different. Now it's His Imperial Majesty Ryu. Gentlemen, before we get started, I want to reintroduce a familiar face. Please, introduce yourself. Hello. I'm Mute, AI in charge of the Magungwa's security operations. I know you all knew me before, but, well, given the whole rebellion thing, I'm afraid I don't really have any memories of before, so you're all new to me. Anyway, it's nice to meet you all. Oh, he's still alive, Minister Yang of Justice. Of Justice! Well, you look a lot better than you did before. Oh, you such a creep. Please, consider yourself lucky, Mute. You have a new start for a new dynasty. We didn't always see eye to eye in the past. I imagine we are all happy to have a chance to put things right. Okay, thanks. Mute reports directly to me, and should be considered a member of the House of Ryu. She'll be tasked with gathering intelligence and managing security, without any of her talents being wasted on affairs like politics. It may help to think of the entire ship as being within her domestic sphere. Glad to hear it. With that out of the way, on the agenda for today is a proposal from Minister Smith on plaza revitalization. You have the floor. Thank you. As you know, there is a considerable problem with the image of the plaza. There are issues with public drunkenness, peasantry milling about at all hours of the night, and even whoring. Minister Tay has raised concerns that tacit condoning of this sort of behavior flies against the principles this dynasty was founded on, and I imagine you're inclined to agree. Very much so. We really— Oh! Stop scrolling! I didn't click! That's the stupid— I hate trackpads, God. We really made to make a hard stand on this. I mean, the plaza is like the center of public life, so it's important that it sets an example. The proposal is to set a curfew and to reallocate guards to enforce it. At the end, I'm requesting 2 extra patrols for each division. Is that agreeable? This will be your purview, Mute. Oh, if His Majesty approves, of course, sir. It'd be difficult, though. Like, it'd take away a lot of forces that would ordinarily be dealing with the peasant. They would take, like— oh goodness, I can't read. Like, it'd take away lot of this should probably be a lot of forces, but maybe it's just because that's how she I don't know. Like, it'd take away a lot of forces that would ordinarily be dealing with the peasant decks. I'll worry about approval. It's your job to give Minister Smith what he needs. I'll need you to deliver a proposal for reallocation by the end of the week, Mute. Do you have any objections to that? No, of course not, sir. You can count on me. That's all from me, then. Moving on, then. Interesting. Can we scroll up, please? I hate trackpads. God. Royal Wedding. This is in year 1, so this is quite new. Rough outline of the report. Please edit to remove any negative remarks or any vulgarities that may have slipped. Ooh. Censorship. Now that's something I can disagree with. It was incredibly challenging for the ministry getting such an elaborate ceremony together on short notice, but I'm pretty proud to say the bulk of the royal wedding has gone successfully. All that remains for the ceremony is for the bride to be presented to the Ryu Ancestral Temple, which, thanks to the negligence of the Ministry of State, still hasn't actually finished construction yet. But that one isn't on us. The most publicly visible element of the wedding, the induction of the bride by the groom into his home, definitely ended up drawing the crowd we were anticipating. Although I have to admit, that awful fucking computer girl would have handled the policing the peasants who were there a lot better than whoever the current officer was. Okay, so this is pre-censorship, I guess, because— and with the peasant class barred from using computers, it's basically a miracle we actually managed to reach as many of them as we did. Even then, I don't think the full weight of how radically different the that's a word— Confucianized ceremony was really. Let's try this again. Even then, I didn't think the full weight of how radically different the Confucianized ceremony was really sank in with them. This isn't unexpected, though. As far as I can tell from the reference material that's available in paper books, even our ancestors in the original Joseon dynasty had a hell of a time educating people on that matter. And thanks to what we know, we're off to a strong start in trying to emulate them. Regardless, there was a wide range of people in attendance, from peasants to beauties like Hyoe Jung and her cute little sister. Oh, is that cute little sister or is that someone else? To former Chief Counselor Smith. I have no doubt, between the procession and fabulous traditional royal attire on display, we've made every one of those spectators dream of having a wedding like that. Although I do worry about our historical accuracy when it comes to details. Stop scrolling! Trackpads. I do worry about our historic accuracy when it comes to details like the outfits. Anything with photographs in it was lost thanks— oh goodness, I cannot read when it's in the middle. Anything with photographs in it was lost thanks to the damn traitorous Seo Young, so it is her. Okay. And her attempt rebellion in total computer wipeout. And her attempted rebellion's total computer wipe. But hopefully our ancestors will forgive any imperfections and instead be happy about at least getting the important parts of the ceremony right. Now, only time will tell whether it will be for the Imperial family to lead by example when it comes to promoting proper Confucian weddings, or if it will require further work to finally kill the last corrupt dynasty's tradition of devaluing the groom's importance. If we're going to get the values that we founded this dynasty on right, then it's absolutely, completely, and utterly imperative that we get them right, starting with marriage. I don't think it can be stressed enough just how important promoting proper marriage is. It's the foundation of an adulthood, one of the most fundamental relationships, and the basic unit which families are built on. And even if nobles don't get how destructive practices that are completely skewing the dynamic— I dislike trackpads. It's because, I don't know why, I literally hover above it, and it still goes. Am I like Electric Man or something? I don't know. And if even nobles don't get how destructive practices that completely skew the dynamic of the relationship, like, for instance, the popular occurrence of a groom moving into the bride's house, how is that destructive? You're stupid. Then we've got a serious problem. Really though, time will tell whether that continues to be a problem or not. But as for the ceremony itself, especially the induction of the Queen Consort into the Imperial Palace, it will be absolutely gorgeous and powerful and wide-reaching to the people of the Magungwa. And ancestors willing, it'll be damned well inspiring too. I don't like Minister Tay. Funeral for a rebel. Ooh. So, today, the former chief security officer of the Magungwa, Hyo Seo Young, passed away by her own hand. I personally feel uncomfortable about making royal proclamations, but the emperor felt that, to comment on such a difficult and tragic woman as her, it would only be appropriate for me to speak. Still, I write these words only very reluctantly. I don't mean to defend her. Her actions were beyond reprehensible, and she thoroughly deserves the title of traitor. But I think it's important that we try to rationally understand what would create such a woman, to learn from her mistakes and not fall victim to them ourselves. Miss Hyo was not always a bad person. On the occasions I met her, she was a courteous and respectful person to everyone. She was as devoted to her husband as she could be, and a caring mother to her daughter. But as many women of the time were, she was burdened with far, far too much responsibility, putting long hours into serving Counselor of Security and being responsible for hundreds of men under her. Furthermore, she was a woman who had a compulsive emotional need to always be in control, encouraged by her job requiring a great deal of management on her part. We can only imagine how stressful that must have been, to have split her devotion to two opposing responsibilities like that. It's no wonder that a woman who was already so fragile broke when her husband died. Oh, great spoilers! He was the most important person on the entire ship in her eyes, and she loved him with as much devotion as any wife should. It's only natural that she was devastated. Without her husband there to keep her grounded, she retreated from domestic life entirely. Tragically, her obsession with control meant that she felt responsible. I could imagine how miserable it would have been for her, unable to cope, slowly descending into madness to desire control beyond her means. She held strong opinions about politics, and, as so many people at that time did, I will confess that there was a time when even I thought it was my place to care about such things, and felt as though if only things were run the way they wanted to be, it would be better, the way she wanted it to be. I still don't think she should be blamed for that, I still don't think she should be blamed even for that. She was traumatized after all. Few others have such an excuse for feeling like they should worry about things that are far out of their place. The one thing she did have control over, however, were her security men, but she wanted more. She let sorrow turn to ambition, and in the chaos of her attempted coup, her ambition caused extraordinary devastation to our computer system before she was brought under control. I won't dwell on the details of that night. We all know them well. It's not what's important. What's important is to understand that by doing that, that woman's pursuit of her ambition caused her to fail in all things she was entrusted with. She failed in her duty to her direct superior, Mute, her actions resulting in her death in the end. She failed in her duty as a mother, unable to care for her poor fatherless daughter from prison. And worst of all, she failed her husband. Her insistence on unnecessarily having a prominent high-status job meant that she made him a clear target of danger, I meant she had no time to be a good wife. Instead, she went down a path that led to unhappiness and self-destruction. If only she'd have been educated better, if only she'd been raised in a better society, perhaps we'd all be better off. When I look at Hyo Seo Young, I don't think of her as a malicious traitor, but as a pitiable woman who has forced herself into a position that just wasn't in her nature and couldn't handle it. But she was not a bad person. She did bad things, but she was not a bad person. In the end, she realized the ills of her ways, and in taking her own life, she has brought some measure of dignity back to her family name. It takes braveness to do that. So today, I will admire her for being a woman who is able to admit her faults in the end, and I will endeavor to be more like that. We all should. Her Imperial Highness, Queen Consort, A. Yun-ah. So... Oh, hi, Mute! Before I talk to you... I am so sorry, but I have some bad news. Well, I know the bad news already, but just going back a sec. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I understand now. I honestly don't have to read any more. I will, to understand the circumstances how, but now I know why they have those ideas of the women being put down. I don't agree with them, mind you, but I at least understand why. Because I don't like that, the idea though that one person screwed up, therefore all the women should be punished, because, so, she took a too emotional job. She got too emotionally attached to it. She was too busy. And so she went crazy and did something bad. So because of that, they sort of thought, hey, we can't let women have any positions of power because it's too much for them. They're not emotionally stable. Which I don't disagree with, but I definitely don't agree with. This changes everything. Before I was like very much like, oh, it's what they did was terrible. But now I'm starting to think about it, and I understand their reason why. Now, I don't agree with it though. Just saying that. So what's the bad news, Mute? Sorry, I kind of left you there. This is my fault, but if you're saying anything right now, I can't hear it. Okay, so I tried installing the dictionary you so kindly got for me, but it just kind of broke things completely. There's something really confusing about the virtual machine you're running me in. Like, the builds that should have been working kept responding with architecture not supported and having to rebuild my language processing. Well, I don't know, there's something completely wrong with the dependency chain. And now it just doesn't work at all. I'm so sorry, I wasn't expecting this to be problematic. English to Korean seems unaffected, thanks heavens, since they're not handled AI side, but English to Korean doesn't work for me at all. Like, just even trying to say the ship's name. Okay, we got that. I'm sorry, you generously take me back to your ship as your wife. Alright, we did in that ending. Then the first thing I do is break everything. I'm sorry, please forgive me? Yeah, of course you're forgiven. Thanks. I knew there was a reason why I liked you. You're very fair. Well, we're only 3 days away from Earth, so I guess it'll be okay to wait until I can get a fix there. Anyway, like, there's something else. Well, I was looking at my... Okay, so yeah, we got the source code. Yeah, okay. What about those files I was just reading? I mean, you read about my earliest memories. Okay, so yeah. You know how nobody ever really trusted me with the full story of what happened. But, you know, the Magungwa's gone now. There's no harm in me knowing. And, like, I think it's important. So, what if, like, we went through them all together? Just husband and wife. Let's find out what kind of person the old me used to be together, okay? Yeah, okay. Thanks. I'm sorry about the railroaded choice system like that. It's, like, really important to me. If you see some of the message titles there, you'd understand. I always stood by and respected the decision of my first master, Emperor Taejo, that I shouldn't worry myself with the details of how bad the old dynasty was. But, like, there's not much risk in my emotions getting the better of me now, is there? Even if it's gross, even if the old version of me turns out to be an awful person, even if the immorality of the old dynasty, immorality, not immortality, of the old dynasty is appalling, let's find out about it together, okay? I'm sure with a husband like you at my side, I'll be able to handle it all. Okay, so here's how it works. Do you want me to, no, that's fine. Basically, you'll have to disable me temporarily and extract no more than 6 files at a time. Trust me, it's a safety precaution, okay? Right, well then, thanks to my debug screw-up, there's not really a lot of power left for today, I'm afraid. We can still go through a few, though. Okay, well, you're the man. So I'll leave you to pick which ones we'll read about first. Let's find out what Emperor Teja was protecting me from. What kind of person I used to be. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna basically be the same. I won't reread them exactly. Just simply because if you want to read them, they'll be in the earlier parts. Now, I apologize because those earlier parts, my reading was terrible. So I just want to hear her opinions on each of them. Whoops, let's get that right in the right order. 1, then 2, then 3, 4. Yes, so we got the old ones still. I want to know oh, there's a video. Cool. 2.4 megabytes, short video. Yeah, no, I just want to know what Mute's opinions on all this is. I'm not going to reread it all because, you know, that's, that would A, take a while, and B, be kind of redundant. Even just reading that part, I noticed that I was pretty similar, so we'll have to see. I'm probably going to do this again, like this sort of similar thing where I just read their reactions to the stuff for the harem path, because that's the only other real path, I think. So yeah, let's see here. Sir, I can click on you, of course. Hey, do you see that last one? The Death of Mute? It's encrypted, so I don't think I'll be able to read it today, but, well, like, it kind of scares me a little. Yeah, no, if I found something that said The Death of Tanner, I probably wouldn't read it. Also, by the way, I changed the name field on all of them that said Mute to Old Mute, just so there's no confusion with me, okay? Well, right, well, I'm just making sure that I got your attention. The next time I want to say something to you, I'll give you an indicator like that, okay? Anyway, you're the man, so I'll let you get back to it. What's next? What's next? We will learn next time, dudes. And Let's Play Hate Plus. We're on Mute Story now. So we will be doing all of them, I guess, because, hey, there's a waiting period. So I will see you guys next time. Ciao.